Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel where we dive deep into the world's greatest myths and legends. Today, we're exploring the origin story of perhaps the most famous hero of all time, Hercules. Long before his 12 labors, the son of Zeus was already a legend in the making. From a very young age, Hercules was different. His strength was, quite literally, godlike. While other children played with toys, young Hercules was wrestling beasts and demonstrating a level of courage that left all of Greece in awe. He battled ferocious lions, towering giants, and mythical monsters that haunted the countryside. Each victory wasn't just a feat of strength, it was a promise of the epic destiny that awaited him. His reputation as a protector and a warrior grew with every passing day, foreshadowing the immense challenges he was born to overcome. But every great hero needs a great villain, or in this case, a not-so-great one. Enter King Eurystheus of Mycenae. While Hercules was out-earning his heroic reputation, Eurystheus was cowering behind his castle walls. He was a king who lacked courage, strength, and the respect of his own people. His throne wasn't earned through merit, but gifted by the spiteful goddess Hera, who despised Hercules. Eurystheus saw Hercules not as a cousin or a hero, but as a constant, glaring reminder of his own inadequacy, threat to his fragile grip on power. So, we have a situation where the true hero, Hercules, is forced to serve a man he sees as his inferior in every way. Imagine the frustration. Hercules, overflowing with power and virtue, had to bow to a king he rightfully believed was a usurper. This arrangement was engineered by Hera herself, who ensured Eurystheus would rule the very kingdom that should have been Hercules's birthright. The indignation simmered within our young hero, boiling over when Eurystheus began assigning him menial, humiliating tasks. Fed up, Hercules decided to seek clarity from the highest authority he knew. He journeyed to the sacred oracle of Delphi, the spiritual heart of ancient Greece. This was where mortals and kings came to hear the words of the gods, spoken through the priestess known as the Pythia. They sought guidance on war, love, and destiny, and Hercules was no different. He needed to know, was he truly bound to serve this weak and undeserving king? He entered the hallowed temple, hoping for an answer that would set him free. Inside the temple, enveloped in sacred vapors, the Pythia delivered a prophecy that was both a blessing and a curse. She revealed that with every labor Hercules completed for Eurystheus, the king's unjust power would crumble, while Hercules's own fame would soar to the heavens, earning him glory among both mortals and gods. It was a path to greatness, but it was still a path of servitude. This wasn't the liberation Hercules had hoped for. He was left restless, frustrated, and his spirit was in turmoil. And it was this vulnerability that gave his divine enemy, Hera, the perfect opening. Seeing his internal conflict, she unleashed her most cruel and devastating weapon. She sent Lyssa, the very personification of madness, to poison Hercules's mind. His world twisted into a waking nightmare. He was suddenly surrounded by horrifying monsters and grotesque beasts, each one more terrifying than the last. These were not real enemies, but phantoms conjured by Hera's magic, illusions born from his deepest fears. Not knowing he was in a trance, Hercules fought back with all his might. He roared with a fury that shook the very foundations of his home, battling the shadows that swirled around him. He smashed through walls and shattered furniture, his incredible strength turned against the specters of his own tormented imagination. He fought until every last phantom was vanquished, until exhaustion finally claimed him. When the madness receded and the dust settled, Hercules awoke to a scene of unimaginable horror. The monsters were gone, but the silence was deafening. He looked down at his hands, covered in blood that was not his own, and there, at his feet, lay the lifeless bodies of his beloved wife Megara and their children. In his deluded rage, he had destroyed the very family he had sworn to protect. Hera's scheme was a success, and Hercules' world was shattered into a million pieces, crushed by a grief and guilt so profound it could break any mortal man. Hercules condemned himself to exile. He wandered the farthest corners of the earth, a ghost haunted by the memory of his own horrific actions. He was consumed by despair, believing he no longer deserved to live. It was in this state of utter desolation that he was found by another great hero, Theseus of Athens. Theseus, a longtime admirer of Hercules, refused to let his friend perish in sorrow. He offered comfort, companionship, and a glimmer of hope in the suffocating darkness. At first, Hercules pushed him away, convinced that his soul was beyond saving. But Theseus was persistent. He reminded Hercules of the hero he once was, the protector, the champion of the innocent. He spoke of his virtues, his courage, and his capacity for good. Slowly, painstakingly, a tiny spark of hope began to rekindle in Hercules' heart. He started to believe that, perhaps, just perhaps, redemption was possible. With this newfound fragile determination, and with his loyal friend Theseus by his side, Hercules made the long journey back to Mycenae. He was ready to face his past and forge a new future. Humbled and stripped of all his pride, the mighty hero knelt before the very king he despised. With tears streaming down his face, Hercules begged King Eurystheus for a way to atone for his terrible deeds. Eurystheus, secretly delighted to see the great Hercules so broken and submissive, saw his opportunity. He granted Hercules the chance for redemption, but the price would be steep. He devised a series of tasks so dangerous, so impossible, that no ordinary mortal could ever hope to survive them. These tasks would become known to the world as the 12 Labours of Hercules. This was not just the beginning of a series of epic adventures. It was the start of a legendary journey of penance, a testament to the incredible power of the human spirit to find strength, courage, and redemption in the face of unimaginable adversity. And that's where we'll pick up next time, as we begin our journey through the 12 Labours themselves. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more, don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel and ring the bell so you never miss an update. Until next time, stay legendary.